morning from Diamond Lake Resort. Check out the resort here. Just had breakfast. We stayed last night up in this room up here. It's pretty good. It wasn't very expensive. Real nice folks here at Diamond Lake Resort. It's all mask restriction now in California, so every time you go inside, everyone's wearing masks and all that stuff again. But it was pretty smoky when we got here, and it's clearing up for this morning. So we're gonna go the section that I talked about earlier from here down on the trail is closed for the fire. So we're gonna go south down to Crater Lake, check out Crater Lake, and then join back up on the other side of the fires. It's about 100 miles to do that. There's not a real good way, very direct way to do it, so we got to go pretty far south and back north again. We figured we'd throw Crater Lake in there because it wasn't on the trail. I've flown over it, but I've never seen it from the ground, so that'd be cool. You go check that out, and then from there we can pick up the trail. It's about 50 miles of trail to the coast. So we're kind of setting this lofty goal and making Port Orford today, because we have an idea for tomorrow to ride up the Rogue River back to I-5, and then we'll go, Lee has to go north, I have to go south from there. That's where we're going to end our ride together. But that puts us about 250 miles a day. I know we made a lofty goal of making it to the I-5 yesterday, and that didn't work out. So it really depends on the conditions of the trail. But this first 100 miles is all going to be highway with a stop off in Crater Lake. So that should go, within probably 2 hours with the stop, so that shouldn't be too difficult to do. And then 150 miles of trail, which we did 160 something yesterday. So, and that was the most difficult trail we had. So it's doable. If we get tired and we don't want to keep going, we'll stop and camp tonight. But we're gonna swing by and check out Crater Lake, even though it's smoky, and then back up to the green section there. Okay, let's do it. That is way down there, though. How often do you get to come up to Crater Lake? Get lucky enough to come to Crater Lake, but not lucky enough to see it. Oh well. At least you can see Wizard Island. So I forgot to turn the camera on, do anything significant. We just went into Shady Cove as we dropped down from Crater Lake, went down through Prospect, down to through trail, just past trail to Shady Cove to get fuel and a couple sandwiches. And then we went back up the trail. Now we're on, what was that highway? 227, I think is what it is. Towards Canyonville, and this is where we'll pick the route back up on the other side of the fire. So you'll see it's quite smoky still, and there's a FedEx truck parked in the middle of the highway. You better move. Don't be pulling out either. So we're looking at, I don't know, maybe like, what, about 30 miles or so to pick up the trail here. We've done 80 already today in about 2 hours. So making good time on the first 100 that we had to get out of the way to get back to the trail. Still have some intentions of making it to Port Orford today. Through that fire and that fire we had to skip, and then right by that fire, and then we pick it up here all the way to I-5. Well, what fire? I mean, we can go back down to the highway and then go to Canyonville, hit I-5, and then come down I-5 and pick up the trail there if this section's closed. Frick. Man, we're missing like the whole Cascade part of it. What fire is this? $10,000 fine. 3230 comes right along the fire. It's not showing up on my fire map.
No. No, in fact, it's like quite a ways away.
Yeah. So we have to go back down to the highway we just came off of that we were using to get around the last fire closure, and take that to Canyonville to I-5. So we basically missed the whole section from Diamond Lake to I-5, which kind of sucks. So that's the way it is. The Cascade section is closed for the summer. So we also just crossed the spot where the trail came in down from Diamond Lake, and that road was closed, so we were right, we wouldn't have been able to get through there. So we're just having to motor this highway, which is beautiful. We're cruising down the South Umpqua River for Canyonville, and then we'll pick up the trail on the other side. There's no fires between I-5 and the coast that we're aware of, so hopefully we won't have any more situations where we have to turn around. That one just kind of made us a little angry because they didn't have a sign down at the beginning of the road. We got all the way up there and then they had it closed at the top, which, you know, just wasted our time. But anyway, that's the way it works. Alright, so we're doing a whole section of I-5 here from Canyonville back down to the route. We're on a highway cruising today. Alright, we're coming into Glendale. Cruising down another paved road to end the section through the Cascades that we missed pretty much most of it because of the fires. So that was Pacific Ocean section 9. Now we're coming up on section 10, and it's fixing to be about
50 miles long, followed up by another section about the same length. So that's it. We got two sections and then a little 9-mile section. So really 3 total to go, but the last one's like 9 miles. So I'm just gonna call it. So we were just riding through heavy forest. We popped out into this like old burned area. The road turned to chip seal. We saw a logging truck. So we're kind of thinking we're gonna be heading into logging country here and end up on a logging road, which would be cool because we've been doing a lot of pavement today. Turn the camera on. I gotta tell that story. Alright, so we were just coming out of Azalea. Is that what it's called? The town. And we're driving through that area. It smells like weed, like everywhere. There's all these ranches left and right. We're driving by these massive weed grows, or marijuana grows. Come around a turn right when we're smelling it. And on this turn, there's weed all over the road like it had fallen out of a truck. Just laying there on the road, and there were buds all over it and everything. We both went roaring by it, and we said we should probably go back and help clean that up. But we didn't. We neither of us do that. But that was weird. Just driving along and a bunch of weed laying there on the ground, and the people that dropped it had so much weed in their truck that they didn't care that something fell out. That's also weird. Alright, that's our weed story. Oh. Top of the first coastal mountain pass. Alright, here we are on top of a ridge on the coastal range. Trying to make Port Orford. Sounds like the car's coming. Maybe we should get rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, wrap it up. Back on the road. Alright, so we've got 19 miles of section 10 remaining. It has been all asphalt. It is awesome, a single lane asphalt road through the coastal mountains. And it's really pretty, but we have yet to hit any dirt today, which is interesting. But all the ferns. Pretty in here, man. These trees get big. Oh, got a camper up here. Oh, it's a fire truck. Well, something. So remember how much we like them back tires?
You gotta love them, even when they're flat.
With the big dreaded situation has arrived. So these tires were ridiculously hard to get on. And on an all-day pavement ride, Lee was able to get a flat tire, which is amazing considering what we went through yesterday. I think maybe it's a slow leak?
It might have been, but it seemed to give out like right away. You know, it wasn't like over time. It was like instantly. I felt the rear end dip and get real squirrely with me.
All right, so let's we'll roll it back and look and see if it's something that we notice, and then go from there. Alright, so this is the tube we took out, and right around the stem it just split in the shape of the insert there. You can see that. So not even patchable. So
we're gonna put a new rim in, or a new inner tube in there, and hope we can get the tire back on. It actually came off fairly easy, so fingers crossed. We got the new tire tube in there, tire on, not all the way off, just enough to put a new tube in, and back on again, which is something neither of us could do at our houses with all of the tools in our garage. So far, I think this is going pretty damn good. The only bad thing was Lee brought this awesome electric pump, and he plugged it in his bike and blew the fuse on the cigarette lighter, so we plugged it in mine, and then we blew the fuse on my cigarette lighter. So neither of us has cigarette lighters anymore. And we have a hand pump that has to seat a bead. That blows. Alright, so it took about 40 psi, popped it on.
Yep.
Here's the inner tube, all packed back up. 11 miles to go on the section 10, and we start section 11. There's 48 on that, and then there's 9 after that, so there's 57, 68 miles to go, and it's 4 o'clock. We're not going to do 60 miles an hour, so we're rolling in at 6,
Yeah.
probably, ish. So
I'm glad that I missed the gravel, but I'm glad that we're on asphalt right now because that helps with getting tired. And
it's just really weird that we got a flat tire while on asphalt. So, all right, so we're back on the road after changing the tire. Lee's going first, so we keep an eye on it. And that wasn't bad, and to be honest, I'm kind of glad we had the experience just so we have had that learning lesson on how to do it. And it went pretty good, actually. We were a little concerned with how hard that tire was to get on there. But I also like to mention that it was the tube that failed. It had nothing to do with those awesome tires. So there's that. Now the problem is it's 4 o'clock and we got at least 2 hours to go. So if it was difficult, gravelly road, I'd be concerned, but you know, it's been this constant asphalt all day on this fun, windy road. I can't imagine them changing it to gravel now after going this far with it paved and in good condition. So we'll continue trucking. We're just about the end of section 10 and about to pick up section 11. All right, just when we thought it was going to be all paved, we are on gravel. 38 miles to go on this section, and then 9 remaining. All right, so got the camera on. We got 25 miles to go to the coast. 16 left on this section. It is 6 o'clock. So each day we've been done riding by 5:30. We knew this was going to be a stretch. We're already 225 miles today. Luckily we had a lot of pavement, so we weren't as tired, but this stretch is starting to wear us a little bit. But I think we're going to be able to hang in there for the next 25 miles. The beer's starting to sound pretty good. Lee, you want me to relay anything? Lee's having a great time, great trip. He doesn't want it to end. That's why tomorrow we've got another ride that we're going to use to get us on our way home. It's not part of the Pacific Ocean Spur of the Tat, so we'll probably do a different video for that. But we're going to go down to Gold Beach and then ride up the Rogue River to Grants Pass. So that's what we're going to be planning tonight. All right, 3.7 miles to the last section. Oh, bump up.
caught you. Okay, this one might go up right here. Oh, yep. One lane bridge. I'm gonna slow down for this one. Alright, we have 1 mile to go. Rolling into Port Orford. Low fuel lights on both bikes. We just lost cargo batteries. We're at 247 miles for the day. Shake and bake! Coming in! POS is almost done. Shake and bake! Get in! There it is! I don't know where we're going. Look at this guy. Shake and bake! I'm saying that for my kids. They just watch Talladega Nights. I think it's funny. Alright, wait for it. Wait for it. Woo! There it is. Oh, that is some cool shit right there. Day 5, we completed the Pacific Ocean Spur route of the TransAmerica Trail. Showed up here in Port Orford about 6:30. 247 miles so far today. Fortunately, there's no hotels in the whole town available, so we're going to continue on down to the next town, which is Gold Beach, which is at the start of where we were going to take a route home tomorrow. So we're kind of going to finish up here, just take a couple shots and pictures of the coast. We were hoping to stay at the Castaway Motel. Didn't know if we'd make it, so we didn't plan ahead. It's one of the things a little difficult about not knowing how far you're going to get every day. So hopefully that wind noise isn't too bad. It is windy here. We'll walk up to the edge here, take a look at the view. Well, we're wrapping up the trip here on the coast. Took about left Saturday, got to the coast Wednesday. So rode all day Saturday to meet up in Burns. Sunday we rode to John Day. Monday we rode to Bend. Tuesday we rode all the way to Diamond Lake. And then Wednesday we rode from Diamond Lake, our longest stretch on the trail, all the way to Port Orford and then down to Gold Beach because we couldn't find a hotel in Port Orford. So we're going to wrap this video up here because that's the end of the Pacific Ocean section, or spur, of the TransAmerica Trail. From here we're going to take the road through the Agnes Road, up the Rogue River, and into Merlin or Grants Pass area. Then we're going to split. I go south, Lee goes north. I don't know why I'm yelling, the mic's right here. And that will wrap up the ride. So it'll be a 6-day total. I'm already at 1,300 miles, and I've got probably 300 to go today. Is that right? Maybe not 300.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, a couple hundred to go.
Yeah.
So, your thoughts on the trip?
Man, I love the trip. I didn't want it to end. It was, some days were amazing. Some days were super hard. I was just thinking about the trip from Bend down to Diamond Lake and coming back on the backside of Lapine. It was rough, down to 10, 20 miles an hour in sand, super soft. But yet, at the end of the day, you're just like, wow, we did it without wrecking, without laying anything over. No one got hurt.
That was key. You know, that was a big fear from the last time we tried this. Obviously, you guys saw the intro I did on what happened last time. We were overly cautious because of that. And so it was interesting. We wanted to see other riders on the trail. And we were talking about yesterday, we ran into 3 guys right at the start of the trail. They headed out in front of us, and then because of a fire closure, they were worried about gas, and they stopped. And we went by, and we never saw them again. We were wondering what happened to them, like what their decision was there. But we never got to see anyone else on the trail to see what pace they ride at compared to what pace we're riding at. I mean, sometimes I feel like we're going really fast. Sometimes I feel like we're kind of going slow. We were doing the section from Lapine to Diamond Lake, and it was this wide open, flat but sandy road, and we were, I mean, being really cautious. The bike was just floating underneath us, and this guy on a dirt bike came around the corner the other way doing flat out, sliding the back tire, and we're like, is that how you're supposed to ride this? Because we're not riding it like that.
Nowhere close.
So it'd be interesting to see how other people, what pace they ride at. But for us, the pace we rode at was, I was comfortable with the speed that Lee was going. He was comfortable with the speed that I was going. We traded off the lead quite a bit, which is good because the guy up front's the one that hits the oncoming cars, so we'd share that risk and call out the obstacles. Tell you right now, there's no one else I would have rather done that trail with than Lee. I can almost see what he's thinking. We were talking about that yesterday, where there was a little cut out in the road, and I knew he was going to just go through it because I was thinking about going through it. And to be able to ride with someone and you know what they're going to do, and he's good company. So,
Yeah, right back at you.
great trip. We're going to do more. We're talking about what's next, and depending on how popular this is, we may do more vlogging trips, maybe create our own routes even. There's tons of stuff to see just in our local area. We got lots more Oregon stuff we could do. California's got great stuff, but we also want to see more of the country. So
We were talking about doing a ride from East Coast to West Coast. We've been doing a deal where we buy motorcycles on the East Coast and fly out, pick them up, and then ride them home, or do a challenge where you have to fly out and you get like one full day to find a motorcycle, buy it, outfit it, and then ride it back across. So
leave a comment what you'd like to see if you guys like this kind of video. What you'd like to see us do next. I think that'd be super fun. Make it a challenge like that. You fly in somewhere, have to find a bike in a day on Craigslist or whatever, and then outfit it. I think it'd be like roadkill style.
That'd be awesome.
So
I wanted to talk about yesterday with our flat tire. I felt like that went pretty well. Both Brian and I changed our tires at home using the tools we had. I had a terrible time. I ended up having to go to a guy in Philomath, Oregon, really neat guy at this motorcycle store, and he helped me take it off and put it back on. But I specifically bought this tool because I saw a bunch of reviews and stuff, some stuff on YouTube for this Baja No Pinch. And the tires that we were running, I think you say them Hayden new, made in Germany. Very stiff wall. Even the flat tire yesterday, I could feel it, but when I pulled up, I said, "Hey Brian, do I have a flat tire?" Yeah,
it didn't look like it was flat until we actually pushed on it. It's a very stiff tire.
And that Baja No Pinch did not work. And so I tried to contact the company about it, say, "Hey, I'm having some issues here," and the only thing I'm getting back and forth is our customers are really satisfied with it.
You must be doing something wrong.
Yeah, then I'm doing something wrong. And I've changed tires before. This isn't the first tire I've done. I've owned Harleys, changed tires a lot. And that tool might work with a soft tire. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it did not work on these tires. But going back to the company, they just kind of argue with me and make it out to be my fault. So total thumbs down on that tool. After spending about $150 on it, we ended up just using some tire irons that we bought off Amazon.
Yeah, and I can even throw those in the link in the description. While we're talking about gear, there's just some things that we found really essential. The bags I bought were a second choice. I wanted to do the Moskimoto ones. They weren't available because everything's sold out. So I got these off Amazon. They're the Wild Heart ones. Again, I can put the link in there. I'm not getting anything for reviewing this stuff. I'm just saying that I didn't know if these would hold up. They've been amazing. There's no wear showing up on them at all, and I've got them loaded with quite a bit of weight. So I'm real happy with those, to be honest. I don't think I'll switch. They fit the bike well. They held up. Everything inside's clean and dry. So what else could you ask for, really?
Yeah, and they're. I saw them open them up from the top and just easy to get into.
Yeah.
I really like my Moskimoto. But I think these actually hold a little bit more. Either way, I would have
Yeah.
been good either way, but
Well, you went with the rackless system, which has its advantages too with that style bike. So
sure. Yep.
some things we wish we had was some lubrication
For the
for the
tire
tire,
change.
for the tire, to help get the tire bead back on. A electric pump that didn't blow our fuses. Turns out on the BMW it pops a breaker, and if you reset the key, I now have power back there again. But the draw on that pump that he has was too great for either of the bikes, unless possibly we wire it directly to the battery, which
Will happen next
you
time.
can run like your battery pigtail with the plugger for a trickle charger. It has a connection for that. So if one of us had that, I think I do, but I didn't want to try it out there and jack up the electrical. So we'll play around with that and get a better pump situation. Maybe even 2 inner tubes, because once you blow one, then you're
in trouble.
like right now we're riding on a prayer.
Yeah, and I think that if we pop another one, I would end up probably just throwing. Let's say I did the rear. I have a front inner tube. I'm just going to put the front
Front
inner
in the
tube
back,
in the rear just to get where we
That's
need to go.
that was one of the things that's with different brand bikes. He's running an 18-inch wheel in the back, and I got a 17. So we don't have compatible inner tubes. So we both have them. If you had the same size wheels on the bikes you're riding, then you're doubled up. You don't have to carry 2 of something. So there's been some talk of maybe moving to a 1200 GS, maybe play around with those a little bit. So we're thinking about maybe at least trying them out, doing a ride with those and see. We rode one in Bend, and to be totally honest, it was more comfortable to stand up on than the 800. My biggest complaint about this bike is the gas tank in the back has like a sharp edge on it that when you're standing up, it bites right into your calves. And I'm so sore right there. I've got bruises on both legs, and there's just no way to change that. It's integral into the bike. The 1200, there's no restriction in there. It's just really a lot more comfortable to stand up on. Size-wise, it didn't feel any different to me. I mean,
No, it felt fine standing up.
yeah.
Slow speed cornering in the parking lot that we were in.
Now you tip it over, it'd probably be different, but
Yeah, having to stand it back up. But then we thought about too, how would that bike handle in that deep sand area, and that's why we would like to rent and just
try it out. Yeah.
try it out. Let's see.
Matter of fact, we even talked about the section we couldn't do because of the fires. Taking some 1200s and run that section because we didn't get to see it, and that would be a day ride through there. So we might try that. So I'm gonna wrap this one up, you guys. Thanks for staying through the whole thing. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'm glad you guys got to meet my buddy Lee. He's my favorite guy to ride motorcycles with, and just hang out with in general. He's one of my best friends. So thanks to Lee for playing along with the video stuff. We had to stop, and you know how it is to shoot stuff. It made the trip a little bit slower, but it kind of gave us a purpose too to put something together, and then we can share it with friends and family. So hit the subscribe button if you guys are interested in motorcycles. Leave me a comment, because this is an airplane channel, but we're going to have a little bit of both content. And hit the like button, notification, whatever you want to do there. All right.
Hey, Brian, there's a bear.
Bear.
Run.